This is an absolute bitch to weld. It just won't weld cleanly. It just splatters and like blows all the centre of the weld out, like you haven't got any gas on, but I've got gas on. I think what it is, I think it's the paint in between burning out and maybe a little bit of rust and shit in there as well. I think you'd be better off just to frickin' use that like shorthand frickin' short strand like fiberglass filler. I need to finish this, but because I was going to come along here and wade across here and just clean it up and tidy up as I was going, but I'm going to be there forever because I can't get in here and do a nice weld and actually get like a little circle going, and sort of mount this all in together. I'm having to like sort of spot weld and then come along like above it, and then then grind it off and then go again. Because I just can't get in. It just won't allow me to it just falls the end of the frickin' nozzle up full of shit. Well, it's not too bad at the moment because I cleaned it out just before, but it just doesn't want to weld clean. And I think it's going to fight me all the way over here. And I've done part of it, but I really need to probably go back here and weld more of this. So it's like it ends up flush and clean, but it just welds so shit. I don't want it. Yeah, it's a pain in the ass, and I've already blown a couple of holes. Fortunately, they tacked up pretty easy, but it was really quite easy to blow through because it was spitting and sparking and shit. It's not welding properly, so it's winding the voltage up on that. That will automatically wind the voltage up. It seems to, I don't know, if it doesn't seem to be welded properly, it'll spike the voltage to get it to weld clean, but it's because of the shit that's in there, it just doesn't want to. And I've already blown a couple of holes, and I don't want to end up with a fucking big issue. You'll actually see down here, there's a little fucking hole in here. So I'll see if I can weld that up, but I think he'd be better off, like I'll clean this up, but I think if he wants that smooth fall, he might be better off just get some of that short strand frickin' kitty here type fiberglass and put it on there, and then clean it up and grind it off, and then put a scooch of like normal body full or glazing putty over the top, and then just sand it smooth. Otherwise it just, yeah, because they've put that fucking red oxide primer in there, probably if they'd sandblasted the firewall and left it, it would. I think it might weld okay then, but I don't know. It's well in that seam, and it just keeps burning away, and I don't know. I just don't think it's worth the effort to try and carry on. I don't know. It's just welded so shit that I'm going to be spending like 3 or 4 times as long trying to make it look clean than what it would be. I could probably try and sandblast it again, but see if I can get it a bit cleaner. But I'm not using good, like it's just old shit. So it's all right for just, taking a bit of the frickin' worst of the rust off, and then flicking a bit of rust converter in there, like in behind a panel. It's fine for doing that, because you're knocking the worst of the shit off and giving it a good dose with that other stuff. But when you're trying to really clean something up like this, it's just not ideal. So you can weld it together. Yeah. Because it's between 3 layers, it really wants to fight you. I don't know. Pain in the ass, because it just doesn't want to weld. You can kind of see here like how many holes and how porous it is. It's like there's no gas on. It just doesn't want to weld. Right, so that's one fixed. So yeah, they had like all those little fucking stupid, wherever they are, like you had like 3 or 4 little squares of shit in there and a bit of little piece of steel that was slipped up half underneath there. So I just broke the rest of the shit out, pulled that skin back as the best I could, cleaned up in there, sprayed a bit of weld through, put a piece of steel in there, got it as close to this edge as I could, welded it across where the 2 bits of old skin were still there, and then just welded along that edge the best you can. They keep blowing away in here. It's obviously a wee bit thin in that corner, but the rest of it seems to be alright, and when we turn it over we can give it a wee hammer and dolly. And I think I just blew through the panel just a little bit when I was welding that, so I got to look at a little bit of a wee bit of weld there to knock off, but that's a far better repair. And I think now, look through here, you can't really see daylight down there. You can see the weld, but so yeah, there was a whole heap of daylight poking through there before, and like wee scoots of frickin' just a wee smear of body fluid in that corner and just give it a wee sand and whatever, it's a wee bit untidy, but I don't think it's worth fucking mucking around with it. It was still reasonably solid metal. Would have been nice if it was a wee bit tidier, but just what it is. People can see it's had a patch put in there. But so now we may as well. What are they going to do here or here? Might do the easiest, slightly easier. We'll do the back side first, maybe, because a few spots in this need to be done. So we may as well just make a piece to put in here. Like this fucking terrible terrible repair. Absolute fucking terrible repair. Just trying to think what we'll do. We might cut a half decent piece out of here. So ground through here. Just to give us a half decent piece to play with. And just work out exactly what I want to do there to make it. Yep. Oh yeah. We'll spray some convert in there. Guess we can try and stop that. We'll check the time. So we have to use a bit of, I think that'll be 2 mil, whatever it is. Fix this. I don't know if, I think that's just rotted through. So we have to make a piece like that and with a beam in it and weld that in, and then we'll build a new corner, skin and top, and then weld that on. So yeah. Fun. And then it'll probably just as interesting when we turn this over and start rebuilding all this and get rid of all the weird, strange fucking bits they put in. We'll check the time. Righty, so welcome back this morning. So we're run out of steam here. So basically I'm going to go through and clean up everything I've done on here, clean back all the welds, obviously do any little pinholes or anything that I've got to catch. Like I know there's a couple down here where I've welded that on. I can see them when the light shines through, so I'm just going to go through and do some little cleanups. I know I've got those few plug welds to do down there. I think there's a couple on the wheel arch on the other side, and just spray a bit of something around to cover up the bare metal. I'll try and fix those couple of little holes in the floor. Hopefully I can just weld them up, or have a wee quick look underneath. I'll lie underneath and have a wee nosy, just make sure I'll work out what I'm dealing with there. We'll give this a bit of a tidy up. He's just going to use that kitty here sort of type stuff. I think we call it, there's a product over here called New Tech. He's going to do that along that seam, because it's just not going to work. It's going to take forever to try and weld it up and get it cleaned up. It's not worth the time, if you know what I mean. I'll just go back over there and I'll just tidy up some of the welds and clean up and grind up and whatever. Basically the car's going to go away again. So yeah, it may come back at a later stage. It's just I was hoping that maybe he might have been able to pay for another week. I don't mind doing what I did yesterday and tidying this up and getting it finished. I'm going to finish the door because I've started it, so I'm going to finish it. Doesn't mind. So I'm trying to see if I can find something else to get in here, because I'm just not sure when that 57 Rambler is going to show up, but I'm just not sure when it's going to turn up. It might be a week or so before it gets here. Just the guys that owns it's a truck driver, and he's always away out of town, and it's just to get things organised to get it here, and to have a decent look at those other ones to work out where we're going to start with it. So I actually threw a post up on Facebook last night. I can carry on with the Studi. I've got stuff I can do on that, but just with the way I'm working and everything, I'm not getting paid for that. So I really need to get a couple of good paying vehicles in here. So on the weekends, maybe like Saturdays or something like that, I think this is how I need to do it. I need to do work on that to offset costs of having the shop, to try and get some just to get the stuff buttoned up on that, so that can be done. And then we'll work it out. And once this is gone, once I've got this cleaned up here, I'm actually going to have it sorted out here. I actually want to go through all this shit here. And I put a lot of crap upstairs now they've actually got the ladder back. I'm going to have a sort out down here, and I might shift a lot of this junk here down and behind there, and maybe around that corner a little bit. Just stack the stuff up down and around there, just so I can get a bit more room again. Because I've actually got a big old kitchen table I might bring down here and sit in this corner somewhere, so I can stick stuff on and just give me a little more floor space so I'm not tripping over this shit so much. Try and get myself a little bit of room. Yeah, because I really hope to. I wish I could freaking have. I would like 3 vehicles would be ideal to have on the go, so I don't end up with problems like this where I'm working on a job, and if the customer hasn't got a huge budget but just wants to chip away at it into chunks, I can do 2 or 3 weeks on one, 2 or 3 weeks on another, 2 or 3 weeks on another one, and maybe by that stage, you know, a couple of months later he might have another chunk of change and we can carry on with another, with back on the first one, if you know what I mean, and chop and change. And then if one wants to disappear, I can bring another one in. I just kind of need to be working like that, and I need the room. It's a good sized shop, but it's having this other stuff in here is becoming a hassle to be able to work efficiently and to have vehicles in here. It's a pain in the butt moving stuff in and out. Like I could have this back and have another vehicle in front, but then you are restricted with working space. Like I can do doors and bits and pieces over in there, which would be alright. I could quite easily have a one panel over there to work on at a time, which would be fine. But yeah, I don't want to be super crammed in. It'd be nice to have, you know, get one vehicle here, one there, and maybe one over where that tractor is or something like that to work on. You know, and then leave this space here. I want to leave this space here free for just parts and panels in the meantime until something else, you know, can maybe work something else out. Like if that ever become clear, I'd have that for parts. I'd get the owner to make me a set of stairs to run up and down there. Would be ideal. Instead of a ladder. But yeah, I don't know. It's just, I almost really need more space than what this is. But like, this is workable, if you know what I mean. If I had all the space and I could really get myself set up better. But yeah, I don't know. It's getting a little frustrating. It really is. It's a pain trying to work on one person's vehicle at a time. It's just not ideal, because not everybody's got 60 or 70 grand spare to work on one thing at a time. But if you had 2 or 3 vehicles, you know, if each person's got, you know, 15 grand to spend on their car at one point, yeah, you can do a lot of work for $45,000. You know what I mean? Like between 3 cars, you know, or whatever, if you know what I mean. You know, it might be 10 grand on that one, 20 on that one, and, you know, 15 on that one, sort of thing, you know. That's what they've got available. You know, you can do a few weeks work on that one, and then a few weeks work on that one, 3 weeks work on that one, and then you might better bounce back to this one, because he's now come up with another 5 grand to keep you going for another couple of weeks, sort of thing. Just depending on what you're doing, obviously. You know, if you're just doing a few small rust repairs and whatever, you know, you'll do a couple of, you know, weeks worth of work or whatever, and then it will disappear again. But yeah, I don't know. You know what I mean? It's just, it's not ideal trying to work on one. Like I can get 2 in here, but with that being here too, it makes it very awkward. Yeah. Oh yeah, I'd gain a bit of space if I just this other stuff wasn't in there. Yeah, I told her I really need to maybe find somewhere else to set up shop, but I don't know. I'm just not really sure what to do. It's good, but it's because it's cheap being in here, but it's not ideal. It's strangling almost because I can't get the extra volume of work in, and it makes it harder to get in if I do. In this pad here isn't ideal either, because you can't bring a vehicle in and back it in. Like, the gravel really needs to be out there another, well, I wouldn't say double what it is, but close to double, because then you could pull a vehicle and you're not worry about running out in the grass and getting stuck in a vehicle when it's wet like this. And it's fresh, like freshly worked ground, like the grass is only just starting to get a hold. And as you can see, like, there's marks out there already from a tractor running around. So if you get a vehicle to pull out here and to back in to drop a trailer, a car off with a trailer, you got to drive out there, and then you're trying to back up a hump. It's good. Like, it's all right in the summer, but yeah, it's just not ideal. It's all right. It would be different if the vehicle's mobile, because you could pull it in here with a trailer, and you could unload it in the driveway and drive it in here. You could turn the trailer around over by the house. But yeah, just a few issues. I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Anyway, we'll get into this. I'll get all these last pieces tied up and ground up and whatever. Spray a bit of crap around there. Make sure I've got this sealed properly. Get that floor done. Clean this all up. Get these last few plug welds in here sorted. And get it back on its wheels so it can go away again. And hopefully, it's able to come back again in a wee while. And do some more. Because I haven't spent a lot of money on it, really, like, all things considered. It's a few $1,000s in it, but it's not a lot of money in the ballpark of doing a paint and panel, So, like, I don't know, there's probably another couple of grand fricking around with the doors, and just time wise, and a bit of materials, really. And I don't know, depending on obviously what you got to do to the front sheet metal and the trunk lid. You might be into the metal work, a bit over, I don't know, say 15-ish, and then you got to put paint on top. So you'd be close to 30, maybe, by the time you've done it. It just depends. But yeah, I have done it a wee bit cheaper because he's been supplying materials and gas and stuff. So I've chopped the price down a little bit for him. But anyway, we will clean up and get these last bits sorted. Righty, I'm just in the midst of clean up. I haven't really filmed anything. I've just been like welding and frickin' wheel arches and shit. I'm just trying to get these last little pieces to clean up. I've never finished the bottom of this wheel arch off where it actually goes into the bottom of down here. I've never finished that off. I'm gonna need to have a look at the other side. I just was having a quick couple of looks on some photos, and it's actually a little bit rounded in here. So I'm not sure whether maybe I should cut some of this off, leave some of this, and just tuck it around a little bit, and then weld it up and just blend it together. I'm just trying to work out what I'm going to do there, because these here actually tapered back in a little bit, but I don't. By the time you put a little bit of mud in there and then shape it, I don't think it's going to matter a whole lot. Both sides are the same, so they probably tape it away. They probably got finer. What I should have done was in hindsight, probably from out here on, probably should have pulled this in a little bit further and tapered this back to about here somewhere. That's probably what I should have done, but it's kind of there now, and I don't think it'll ever matter. I think if you just put a little bit of filler in here and just tape it back a little bit. But yeah, I think I need to cut this square in here, or even up a little bit on an angle, and then just fold this around. And I'll look at the other side, and I'll probably do the same on the other side just to finish this off. And I got a little job coming in tomorrow. It's just a body repair on an old I think it's an old Nissan truck, like not truck, but like 4-wheel drive truck, like an older one. So I think I've got to repair a door and then repaint it. So it'll be, I don't know, probably a couple of days work sort of thing. I'm guessing by the time I've repaired it and then smoothed some body filler in or whatever and blown a few coats of primer on and then paint it, and by the time I get some paint sorted for it too. So yeah, I'll film that. I may as well. And I'm still trying to work. I haven't got hold of. There's some other people I've got to ring too. I've just got a message from my cousin. There, I think I've mentioned it before. I'm not sure. They've got a little. Well, her mum and dad have got a little Singer Vogue. I'm not sure what year it is, but it apparently needs a little bit of work too. So he will do that as well. I'm going to have to ring sometime before lunch. But yeah, I'll carry on here. So yeah, I mightn't video what I end up doing, but I'll bring you back and I'll show you. I'm just trying to get all this stuff cleaned up. Any bits and pieces where I've missed welding, sorted and whatever. I've got a couple little welds here to do. I've only sort of just spotted across here. I've welded in here, welded all the rest of these. I think I've done all them. I might have the odd hole to pinhole the saw. I want to get in behind and give it a quick grind. Put some seam sealer in there. I need to see if make sure my seam sealers are okay. It should be. Yeah, and then I'm going to get down low and sort out this rear corner. It looks weird like that, and I kind of hadn't finished it because I think I was trying to work out what I was going to do. I can remember looking at it one other time and not liking what I'd done on the other corner. So yeah, we'll curve that. I think it's sort of it's just got a very gentle radius in there, kind of. We'll kind of make it look reasonable, and yeah, and then obviously when you do body work and whatever else, then you can blend it in and smooth it in and whatever. Alright, so I think that looks better. It's probably not close to factory, but we've cut that off, put a wee plate underneath there, welded it and welded the inner tub back to this piece along the seam, and like cleaned it up on the inside and whatever, and trimmed the excess bit of wheel arch here away, so they just curled it up so the shit won't sitting there. There's nothing in there for it to sit on, so that's cool. I think that's actually one of the worst things they ever did, was they used to tuck them around and have like a little cap there, which held the shit in there, and that's what roughed these corners out. So if you just try and leave them sort of basically open. You might have a little lip there, and you might just get a little bit of crap sitting there, but just leave them basically open so the shit can run out and doesn't get full of dirt and junk. And if you do wash it out, well, at least it just sort of washes any dirt away that just sits there. So that's that sorted. I've cut it away on the other side, but I haven't welded it up. I've got a little bit of welding to do here in the corner on the bottom, so I'm going to do that, and I might try and spot that up, see if that'll spot up, and see if I can just get in there and knock a little bit of that dint out. That's this piece done, apart from a couple more. I put a couple of tacks in there and I tied it up a little there, and I forgot that I had a tack screw down there, so I welded that up, so I've just got to clean that up. I think I might have a frickin'... I've got a wee pinhole there too I've got to weld up before I move the welder, and then we'll come around this side and I'll lay that light inside the trunk, and we'll aim at this panel and we'll get along there and we'll fix any welding there. And I've cut this corner away the same. I haven't finished, like I just sliced it off, I haven't dressed it or anything like that. And the same, we'll put a little patch underneath here and we'll blend that all in and we'll grind all the excess away. I haven't trimmed this on an angle or anything yet, but we'll do that too. Hopefully we don't end up with too much fire in there, because I've already got seam sealer in there, but at least we can blend it out. Like it should be right. It won't be too much of an issue. I got water and the fog extinguishers here. We'll just that seam sealer and the body sealer on there. We might end up with a bit of flamage there, but it should be right. I'm only zapping along the edges, so it shouldn't be too difficult. Like putting lots of heat into it or anything. Might end up with a little bit of flame, it should be right. Might burn a little bit away, but it's not finished yet. So we'll get that done shortly, and we should have dropped that down. We've got to get the other wheel on, and then the only other thing we're really got to do is do the few plug welds down there that I've missed. I know there's a few. I probably think I've welded every sort of second or third one. I know there's a lot of places where I've welded most of them, but I know there's probably a dozen plug welds down there to do, maybe a couple more than that. Yeah, and then we'll have a quick look at that, and we'll put a couple of tack welds in there and just blend that out, and then I'll just make sure we've got no light showing through from the inside of there back into the body, and then we should be sorted. I think I've done everything else. Yeah, that just needs cleaned up. At least the weld's knocked off there. Just trying to think if there was anything else. There's a couple of pinholes here. I'll see if I can weld them up. It should be okay. I think they should be just weld. And we've done that. I don't think there's any daylight through there now. Oh, better get that grinding disc out of there. I'll let it down. It'll be especially easier. So it's done. That's done. Oh yeah, there's a couple. We'll fix this too. I think he wanted to actually seam weld these, so I should be able to seam weld that okay. We'll see if we can tidy up this patch in this corner where it's sort of been uglied up a little bit. We'll clean that out and we'll see if we can seam weld that. We'll do the other one as well and we'll get it down. It shouldn't be too difficult to do. We'll get it right back down the ground. At least it'll be a decent light to do that. Right, we'll get this corner sorted. Righty, so this is where I cut the bottom of the guard away on the left hand side. So this is what I'm going to do basically. I'm going to make a little patch to weld on there, and then I'll seam weld this. I'll put a little patch on the bottom of it basically, and just weld around the perimeter. I'm just trying to show you. The other thing I'm going to do too, I don't know if I'll do it today, but I'm sick of sitting on Well, if I need to be down low to do any welding, like sometimes when you want to get like pinholes down here, you're going to be down really down low, and I want something about as low as that box, or maybe a little lower, but it's to be able to move around and scoot around, because it's awkward, trying to get up and down off that to like move the box. So I need to either buy myself a seat or make one. So there's been this old tractor seat over in the corner there for a long time. So I've just taken it off the bracket because I don't want to cut this up just in case it is for something. And actually, I was actually having a look online. There's a bit of this sort of stuff floating around, so I might actually buy a couple and make a couple more. I might even make a couple of taller ones. But I've got the wheels off that body doll I had underneath the Dodge. These are probably overkill, but I'm just going to use them because I've got them here. And I'm going to use a bit of this box section, and I'm going to build a real low profile welding seat that I can scoot around on and move around if I'm doing low stuff like that, or welding down low. Instead of sitting right on the ground or up on that box, I'm going to have something that's close to it, close to that box height, but maybe just a little lower. So yeah, I think one of those old cast iron tractor seats would be perfect. I'll just put a wee bit of plate on here, and then build a bit of a frame, and then throw the wheels on it, and it'll be, not quite a foot off the ground, if you know what I mean. So it's still, you're down low, but you can sort of push yourself around and scoot around. You're working down low. Especially so, like, at some point if I get the opportunity to have a lift in here or something else like that, well, then you won't have to worry about it because you better lift it up. But it will still be nice to have a nice little low seat to scoot around. Even if you do have it up on a lift, you can be down on the ground and not have it too high, and you can scoot around underneath and weld stuff up or whatever, underneath. You can have like a nice little low seat you can scoot around on, sort of types thing, or whatever. It was just handy because when you're down here and you're looking at those pinholes in here, if you're not at the right angle, you miss them. I think I've got them all down here now, but like if you're too high, you're looking down on top and you don't see them all. You've got to be down almost eye level or close to it, if you know what I mean. But anyway, we'll get this whatever I did with that piece of steel, doesn't matter, I'll find it a piece. We'll make a patch in there. Now I'm getting close to getting all this stuff tidied up, but yeah, I need to. It's just, I had it sort of like that before, and they're swept up, so we just cut them off and swept them up. I think it looks tidier, and when it's down on the ground and it's all body worked, and nobody's going to really know. We'll just put a little patch in there and clean her up and grind her up. And when they do body work or whatever, or if I do body, like the filler work, sanding, whatever, yeah, should be good. Like when you're standing at this level, like you can't really tell, but it's just, when it's from a distance or something, it look weird kicking down. So yeah, I googled a couple of photos and we made it look close to normal. So whatever I did with that little triangle frickin' steel bitch, it's over here now. Yep, there it is. Right, we'll get to shaping that up. I'll lie down on the ground and look up, and we'll make it fit. Morning, guys. So, welcome back again to NZ Mopo Kustoms. I'm in the midst of probably a couple of videos here because that's basically done. I'm still gonna finish this door off at some point. I'm actually waiting on a vehicle to turn up that I've got to do a door repair on. I'm not 100% sure. Right, I actually thought this other vehicle was turning up this morning, but it's not turning up till maybe early this afternoon. So I may as well carry on with this door in the meantime. Get this done, or at least get a bit more of it done. So we want a bit of 2 mil for a start.
Several days later.
Right, so we had to get back onto a 65 door now that I've got everything else sort of cleared away, and had a huge clean up in here. I wouldn't say we're not 100% organised, but like most things, you sort of, I spent about half a day, about half a day having a clean up in here and sorting some other stuff out. I had to sort out inner door handle on that, and this, and it's still outside. It's been picked up tomorrow. I had hooked the rod into a little holder on the inside of the door. When you pulled the handle, it didn't open. I thought I had put it in there, but maybe when I was mucking around with stuff, it got flicked out again. But anyway, so I had a fairly good clean up here. I'm about to start on the 65 door. So I got the little patch made for here a few days ago. So yeah, we started making up this little patch here for the corner of this door down to here when we cut these patches out there, I don't know, about a week ago. When that Nissan turned up, and then it took me 5 days to fix the fucking door. But anyway, that's a whole other video. That's way longer than it needs to be, but it kind of is what it is. But anyway, before I start here, I'm hoping to know in the next couple of days, depends on when I can get another chance to talk to this man, but I'm not going to tell you what it is yet until I really know. Let's just say it's very old, it likes water, and it's big. And my plan is, if it's in here, it'll be cool. I'm imagining, I'm not 100% sure without looking at it, but I'm imagining it's quite a big task to rebuild it. Could be several months, if not maybe long, like maybe it could be even a year-long rebuild or restoration, I guess you'd call it. So I'm trying to work on, maybe if it's in here, work on it like say 4 days a week, and then have something else to work on, like that 57 Rambler, and maybe some other things, obviously depending on how long the Rambler's here for. That 65 may come back to do some other work on it, and also if this other job goes ahead, I will be going to go get that 51 Plymouth. It's still for sale. I need to double check that, but I think it's still for sale. It's been for sale for a while. It's probably one of those things that probably scare most people away. It looks to be in fairly average condition. Like it's kind of at that point where, yeah, if I was going to rebuild it myself and make it back to stock, it would be, I could probably do it reasonably cheap, but I'm hoping to work out to do a full chop customised lead sled. So my plan is, if this other thing comes ahead, and from what I can gather with a little bit of information I got, it'll be a major, it'll be a way bigger job than possibly the Scooty. Way bigger vehicle, it's huge. I'm not sure how big exactly, but I can probably work it out. But anyway, yeah, it fits in here. Yeah, like I only want to work on it about 4 days a week to break things up. Yeah, and as I said, I would like to spend a full day on something else, whether it's the middle of the week, start of the week, end of the week, I don't know. We'll work that out at the time. And probably on Saturdays for half a day or whatever, I think for a wee bot for a few weeks, and we'll get some work done on the Scooty. And then, yeah, then I would bring that 51 in here. Hopefully the Scooty's going out of here and getting the upholstery and out of my hair. So I can get some extra room in here. That's one thing I'm trying to work out how I'm going to do this, but yeah, I'd like to be working on sort of those two main, well, a main project, a smaller project, and then something in mind. And I think it'd be quite cool to have that 51, even if it was in here behind that bench, and I'll just have to work something else out for storage for other stuff. Have it in there and chopping it and whatever, you know, customising it and rebuilding it and whatever, you know what I mean. We'll work that out at the time. Anyway, we'll get this corner cleaned up and we'll get this welded in, and then we'll keep making some bits here. There's a few pieces to do, like I've got to rebuild this whole corner. I'm going to rebuild this corner. Oh, sorry, you can't see. So to rebuild this corner here, we'll start on this one. I'm going to rebuild this here down here as well. And we did this piece and that piece there, I don't know, a week ago. So that was made, so I may as well get that cleaned up and get it in there, and then we can add some more. Right, okay. Sure why. My phone now, every now and again, shuts off. I don't know whether it's been an update on my phone. I've still a little bit of welding to do on this bit in here. Still got a little tidy up to do in here, obviously in here, and I've got a couple of holes to fix. I had a little piece that I had hanging out here, but by the time I sort of got the bent around, actually got it to fit. Kind of like normal. I actually went to nick it to see if I could bend it up to make it thin there, so I could sort of weld it and fill it in, but I cut it right off. But anyway, I had a problem. Got this battery here, which is charged, but the other battery is decided it doesn't want to charge. I know these batteries have been getting a bit weird for a while, but I did actually come across a video the other day, and I thought I might as well try it. This one here, unfortunately, is completely dead, and it won't show up on the charger. So obviously when it drained itself, it fully drained, and it didn't want to do anything, if you know what I mean. So I think it was I had to sit beside the charger for a couple of days. I hadn't hooked it on because I was like doing body work and painting and stuff. I'd finished grinding and whatever, but I was seeing this tip on somewhere, can't remember where, can't remember if it was TikTok or YouTube or wherever, and I thought, well, if it works, because basically that battery won't charge, it's now useless. So I'm going to try and heavy gauge wire kit. But the old wire that was floating around out of that conduit out of that house from a couple of years ago when I started making the convertible top for that studio. Right, so basically you find the battery neg, plug that in there, battery neg, it's strands are so thick, anyway, poke that in there. You only have to do this for apparently a few seconds. Battery positive, and just put a little bit of charge back in from another battery. Bullshit, I don't know. I don't know. I'll go grab the battery off the. I don't know if this works or not, but I'm going to try, It's basically meant to put a wee bit of current out, but I don't know if it would work or not. Oh yeah. We've got a light coming up, sweet. So yeah, now there's a light coming up in there. It was no light there before. It wouldn't charge at all. I'll let it jump for a little bit longer just to see. Battery might be dead. See if the other one charges. Yep. No, that battery must be dead. Just it won't have it. Oh, it was worth a try. It works, but look, it does put charge in there, but it just, see the red light flashes. If you don't own a DeWalt, and this just does nothing. But if I turn the light, turn the thing on, see there's a parcel's coming in there. See that? See, it doesn't do that. So there could be an issue in there. It's obviously might be volting back. Oh well. She's buggered, I would say. Don't know. No. Always something, eh? Always something. Oh, we'll do a little bit more clean-up work on that corner and we'll see where we're at. Just thought I'd show you that because I thought I'd better frickin' charge that battery up. But no, it doesn't want to. Right, so what they've done here is they just slipped a piece in. They put 2 or 3 tacks down here and before they put the skin on and just overlapped it. It's still the original piece of steel all in there. So what we'll do is we'll nick these off, see where that comes to, and see what's hiding underneath there, like as in, like I can kind of see from the other side, if you know what I mean, but we need to try and work out shapes and bits and pieces so we can rebuild this piece properly. And on the inside, where the patches, you can see here down this piece, really ugly looking piece. It's just lapped in. Just had a piece lapped in, and then even that piece there is butt welded, but again, still not really good. It's like tacked every frickin' I don't know, 1/8 of an inch. And they just slap some body filler on it and hope for the best. And the main reason I cut like that, because you end up with one weld. It's kind of the reason. I learnt that when I was doing the doors for the Jag. I was watching somebody here and they were cutting it. I'm like, oh, they're doing it like that? Yeah, and I can't even remember who it was. Well, somebody was repairing some panels, like online, and they were a professional restorer or something like that, yeah, and they cut it like this. I was like, what the hell are they doing that? You end up with a better, just apparently you end up with less likely to warp if you spot it and it's one continuous way, you don't come up to a point. Apparently it's just to help stop things doing weird shit. I don't really know why. I might have to try and see if we can get into panel beat some of this stuff. Not really sure. But anyway, we'll pick this piece off, see what we're dealing with, and then we'll start making a piece for here. And we'll rebuild the inner, obviously, and then build a new corner into the door panel. I don't think there's any point in. I could cut it a wee bit bigger so I could get my hand in there, but yeah, just if I was going to cut the bottom off the skin, I'd get in and I'd actually hammer that out first, but I don't know how easy it is. That's why I wouldn't mind the stud welding gear, but I might better get that with this next big job if it happens. I'm really hoping. The guy sounded quite sort of perked up quite positively when I was talking to him about it, but he didn't really have time to talk, so yeah, hopefully we'll know in the next couple of days whether that job goes ahead, which would be awesome if it does. I'm hoping it's not too big to tackle for me, if you know what I mean. I don't mean that, I just mean physically, straight out physical size wise. We're trying to work on some of it, if you know what I mean, but we'll see. I might just have to get help. It's not so bad when you're working on a car. You can do most things by yourself, occasionally get your hand, but when you're working on bigger, crazy weird things, sometimes you just need help because things are bigger and heavier and whatever else, if you know what I mean. But anyway, we'll pop these couple of little tap welds and we'll just see if we can break this away and just see what was going on and see what they did here. It feels like they've just replaced sort of part of it into here. It feels like they put a piece into here, but they just slipped it in and sort of tacked it along the whole fucking thing. So we'll break it off and just see what's going on. We might better get away with a smaller repair, who knows. We'll see. Right, so I'm just looking at this, what's left of the original. It's got like a little, on the outside edge here, you can see how it comes along and then drops down. So we need to put that in all the way down here, and it's fairly flat at the bottom. I can manipulate it at the bottom. Well, I've obviously got this hump, but there's no real step in it, if you know what I mean, but it's stepped all the way down that inner panel till it gets to about the corner. That's what it kind of looks like it was anyway. It's rotted away, so whatever way that was meant to be, that way. So that's the just need to put some markings on here so I know which way I'm going. So that's the bottom. I need to buy some pens, I keep forgetting. Need to go down to the old frickin' stationery shop. So that's the bottom of the door. And we'll put back on here, back side. So I'm not getting it confused because this would be the inside of the door and the opposite side would be put back of the door and just put bottom. So I'm not getting myself screwed up when I'm trying to do shit. Right, so down here, about whatever this is, however we measurement on here, and we'll just get a rough, looks like about 3/8 of an inch 10mm bead down there. I'll have a wee look a bit at the door and we'll run bead roller down here and we'll push this down. We'll just run a bit of a bead in there all the way down to here, and then yeah, down here. We'll run it off, and then I'll manipulate it from there. And we'll go from there. That kind of needs that bit of shape in it. This here, a lot of this here will end up cutting off anyway. But I've just left this on because there's that little piece that goes in the corner. I'll probably just end up just welding it straight down there like that. But I just haven't 100% decided whether there's a little piece in the corner here of the door. This bit here. I'm just trying to decide whether that's there, welds up into the inner part of the brace of the bottom of the door. So I'm just deciding whether I cut this piece off and add it onto here, and then just weld it around this corner, and then put a spot weld into this piece. Either I'll just weld it up. It doesn't, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter much. And I'll grab out my bucket of sandblast and shit, and we'll give this a bit of a hoozle up around here in the corner, and we'll spray some shit in there, and then yeah, but I think we'll bead roll this piece in there, and then we can start shaping that, and we'll see how we get on. We mightn't get it welded in tonight, but we'll at least get it shaped up, ready to weld in tomorrow. And then obviously we'll make the outside skin, and then we'll do that other wee back piece down below the door handle. And I'll have to remember to put a bend in here. They've never put any bend in this for the body line that's in that car. It's a bit hard to see, but there's a body line that runs through here, so we'll get that patch made, and then we'll find that line and put a wee mark on it, and we'll just give it a wee kink in the folder. It actually comes up and then flattens back off again, so we might even try to get both. Let's put a wee step in it, just to try and get it close, so less when you're doing body work, mud work, whatever, to try and make the look decent. You sort of got something to go by, instead of trying to build it up or trying to make it look right. At least if it's got a little bit of shape in there, it's kind of there, if you know what I mean. Don't really know if there's a step in that door panel or not. So there could have been a step in that panel, but it's a bit hard to tell now because it was all rooted away. And probably because I put this in here, it's probably screwed it up. It's probably meant to have a wee, because that's about where that is. It's probably meant to have a wee kink in it, if you know what I mean. I don't know. We'll find out. I'll see what looks right when we do it, and we'll make that a panel. And I might better come in here and just put a wee bend in this piece too, so it follows that line. I haven't got the other door here to look at, so I can't tell you. He took them away in the meantime. But we'll do this bead down here, a wee bead roller. Yep, I'm doing it again. I keep thinking I'm recording and I'm not. So I put a bead roll down here. Thought I recorded that, but I didn't. So now we'll beat a bit of this here, shape into this piece. We'll just sort of massage. No, we've got that, I guess, sort of made. I'll just give this a clean up and treat it with some of this. So at least that'll slow stuff down in there. It's never going to stop it, but it will slow it down. You know, it'll now make it last years and years and years. You know, it's not as though it's a car that's going to be out in the rain and shit and crap all the time. You know, it's going to be garage the bulk of its future, so, you know, in the near future anyway. Oh, that is line. That's a bit rough there, isn't it? I assume that's a body line. Yeah, it must be. So anyway, we'll let that cure, and then overnight, then we can do the final trim on this. Give this a clean up. Spray some. We'll probably don't need to spray any wow through on there just at the moment. But once we get it on and give it a clean up, and then we'll put some wow through on. We'll make her outer skin, and weld that on. So that's cool. We're getting there. At least we got that corner finished. We're into here. Small steps. And today was weird. No, just cleaning up really. Just trying to get myself sorted back out, and then and then we'll dig into this piece and see how far. Again, we'll probably end up coming into. Where's my pen? Put me lid on my head. Because I can see there's a hole here, I'll go a good inch-ish past there, and we'll probably come up to around here somewhere with this, at least for a start off, somewhere in this ballpark. Get away from all the shit in the corner, because it's like close double skin in there. So I'd rather get away from where it's going to hold the crap, unless we should be good metal. And we can get a nice strong patch in there. So I guarantee if there's rust here, it'll be creeping along here. But at least we can have a look, see how good the metal is in the back. And if we have to go around the corner a bit more, well, we have to go around the corner a bit more. And then we can break this in and build the inside first, and then we'll make new skin. And this is where we put that patch in the other day. And you can see where there's a couple of times I just about blew through, so we're just going to grind that little bit of shit off there. It was when I was putting that little slithered back down there and welded it back in and made it look decent, instead of like, I think I had like 3 little patches and a piece half poked in the middle of next Christmas underneath the door skin. So, but it's cool. Yeah, it won't take too much longer. Hopefully by lunchtime we'll have all these sorted out, if not close to it. And I might, on the way home, I might call them to Dad's and just have a look at the jag doors and drag 1 or 2 back here in the morning. So once I've got this one finished, if we get a good run in it and get it done by lunchtime sort of type thing, we can work out what we're doing with the jag doors. I think I've done all the metal work. I'm not 100% sure on that. I can double check that. I think it's more getting the paint off them and coat it etch, and then smash some body filler and some hide build on them. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Anyway, we'll see you tomorrow. A good morning, troops. Well, whether this comes out in the video or not, but I had a battery that was weird yesterday. It was totally dead flat, and on the video I jumped it to another battery to put some juice back in it, and then it wouldn't charge. And last thing before I went home was I'll just try that thing again now that the battery's been sitting there for a while after we juiced some power into it, and it charged. So this is it here, which is awesome. Yeah, one-handed life. So yeah, it charged up, which is absolutely freaking awesome. So that's cool. So anyway, we'll get onto this door and get that sorted. So once I get this finished, I'm going to go grab the doors from Dad for the Jag. We was actually around there last night, and I didn't look, but we were thinking there was one that we still hadn't finished repairing. So yeah, and then I've got to get the rest of the paint off them and whatever, and we'll go from there. But yeah, you know what, we'll get this now that the rust treatment's had plenty of time to do its thing. There's a little bit of trimming here. I'm just going to make sure I that bit to line up to here, and we don't have any weird alignment issues. So we're going to get this orientation right. So I'll throw back on the tripod so I can use both hands, yes. And sound like a Russian. And we'll get this in. Hopefully I get my phone call this morning to do with this other vehicle. Good soaking, a good dose of erection protection. I'll get down in that bottom piece too where I can get back into from earlier on. Right. Let's turn it over for a minute and we'll just have a wee look at the back side. Dress it up and then we'll make the outside skin. And I might just lift this a little bit. I was trying to have it low enough yesterday to sit down and well, but it's still not low enough. Well, it's very nicer, isn't it? It's a very nice out repair. It's not quite lying it there. We'll fudge it up a little bit. Son. Yeah. That's a far nicer repair. Unfortunately, I might just cut that and just lift it up a little bit. Right. So, we've got our piece. I took a couple things out of the finger break and I just grabbed it here and then I grabbed it a little bit further along. has got just a very slight radius in it. Hardly anything. I could have just about been it straight. Just if I sat that on there and just followed that line, it wasn't quite right, if you know what I mean. So I just removed a couple of fingers and just grabbed one part of it and just gave it a wee tweak and then just moved it along to with the other side of the gap and grabbed it here, gave it another wee tweak and I just moved it back a couple of times just to bring it up. And it's pretty much straight across the bottom. So now we should be good for here. We'll just have to trim this away and we'll leave it. If we cut it on this line or about this line, we should be pretty close, and then we just sneak it until we get it to fit nicely. It's a bit of that old bit, is it? Get that off. There's a piece missing from there. Right, I'm just trying to see that line should be, it's had a couple of knots in here. I'm just trying to get a decent line. Now I'll probably just clamp that on there. Clamp it on there so I can see where that line should be. This new piece. So then I can go put it in the venter and just give it a little kink. Do that. Then I can get this piece on. Right, where do we get to? Got that marked on that line. Should be good. I'm just thinking. There's like a lower line here too. I'm not 100% sure of that. I think. Might feel like there's a line through here. Should be. You can't see it there, you can kind of see it there, so I don't line this up so we'll just just give it a little kick there too. Right, let's whack this corner off. Oh, keep your mind out of the gutter. We're gonna cut it off. Gonna kick the fucking cable too and the tripod and trip yourself up. So this is my repair panel, start of my skin. So we want to trace just inside this line to break this edge the same. So you can see where the black marker is. So we want to be just inside that a little bit. Yeah, just have a wee gap. So this is actually a cutting die. I've got another one as well. I mean trying to get it to so you can actually slit something off. That's what the terminology I would have used when I was. We used to have big long folders like that, and they had these that you run across the bottom of them. They had like a thing that was part way down the blade when you're folding. They had like a hydraulic chain drive on it, and it had a set of a thing that you bolted on. It basically wasn't there. You only put it on when you needed it, and you could go along and cut material. So if you were just wanted to cut little strips or something like that off a big piece of material, you could. But yeah, I don't know whether I'm ever going to use them for that. But I just thought it might help me tip this edge. And this is another one of those things I've never really done before. So we'll just put a little, it's just a very fine gap in there. And I think I'll slide it through. Keel. Get it on after lunch. Round that off and trim these back edges back a little bit before we hand them right over. Very good. Worst comes to worst, we'll just lay this over top. And if this corner pokes out or doesn't set out enough, we can just build it up and we'll run it back a little bit and just put a little bit of weight on it. That's all we can do. Right. Righty, oh, we'll make that the end of this video. I'll give you a quick look around in a second, but yeah, that door's done. That's the end of the 65 Impala for now. Unfortunately, I only got the one door done, but hey, the other ones might come back at some time in the near future, and we can plug away at them for them. We'll just see what happens, I guess, with everything else that's going on. That door in the background is Mark II jack, and another one over there. I've actually repaired that one a long time ago, 2020-ish. That one there I've repaired too, but we've got one corner off it, so I've got to finish that. Some stuff we started for Dad, yeah, 3 years ago. We just never quite got back to finishing it. So yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching, and like, share and subscribe. Hope you enjoyed the video. Yeah. And we'll give you one wee last walk around before we bugger off, and we'll start the next one. So yeah, that's that corner done, that repair done, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll flip you over and we'll just give you one more look on the other side again. Just to know what we did on this door. So yeah, that's the back side of that corner repair. We put that little piece in here, and as I said earlier on, they had like 3 little chunks in here. We put a piece in here. We'll probably grind that up a wee bit better, but we can do that later on when we get into bodywork. We can give that a wee bit more tidy up. I'm not going to worry about it now. It's solid. That's all that matters. And you know, we could probably grind this up a little bit better too when it comes to doing the rest of the bodywork or whatever. But yeah, that's that done too. So yeah, we rebuilt all that corner, rebuilt the inner of that as well. Yeah, and that's that back piece. So yeah, they had all that weird patches in it. So yeah, that's that done. That can go away now. And just to give you a wee we look at this, so you can see this has got a bit of surface rust. Unfortunately, we just never got back to these. So yeah, I done a repair in here, and yeah, this was the last corner to do on all the doors. So you can see I've done both corners in this one, and there was a hole in here too. We patched that too as well. So yeah, that was some older stuff now. 3 years ago. And I think I rebuilt all this corner. You can see it on here and whatever. So you'll see that in the next video. When I'll make a video mucking around with these doors. I'm gonna get them right back into primer. Probably won't paint them just right yet, but I'll get this all cleaned up and get this corner fixed, and we'll get all this. We'll ask this old paint off. We're trying to scrape it off. We'll never go with one of those Rollexes and whatever. But yeah, anyway, we'll catch you later on. Thanks for watching. Like, share and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Ask a question, leave a comment, whatever. Yeah, and hopefully, I still haven't heard about this other little project yet, but we'll give you an update when I know a little bit more about it, if it comes to fruition. I'm really hoping so. It's going to give me a massive boost in all which ways and directions, I would think. And give me an opportunity to do some things I want to do for myself, as well as pick away at smaller projects, so these people aren't outlaying quite so much money at one point, which is kind of the thing that would actually happen with the 65. If I could have chipped away at that, a couple of days, a fortnight or something like that, the cost would have been a bit slower, and we probably would have done a wee bit more because he would have been building up funds as we go. But that's kind of is what it is, and that's what I'm hoping to do if this other job comes in, because it'll be a major. It'll be here for a long time, and it'll just give me a chance to offset some of these smaller jobs and chip away at them and give a bit of different content. Anyway, we'll catch you later on. Thanks for watching. Cheers.
Hey guys, if you need welding gas, go see the boys at Cool Gas. If you're in New Zealand, yep, go see these guys. They'll look after you. Cool Gas, New Zealand.